Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Adam from GHL Mastery. And if you are following this channel, you will have probably already watched our last video on how you create a sub account from scratch. In this video, we're going to be covering how to use the SaaS Configurator to set up your accounts and have it so that you can automatically have your sub accounts created using the SaaS Configurator. Now, there is a little bit of a caveat here because you need to be on the $497 SaaS Pro Plan with Highlevel. And if you are not on that plan, I'll drop a link below so that you can upgrade to the SaaS Pro Plan and you'll be able to do a lot more with the system than you ever thought possible. And one of those things is automatically creating your sub accounts so that you can have a true SaaS system. But there are some things that you do need to know about using the SaaS Configurator that you may or may not like. So let's go and dive in and watch this video. And if you are not subscribed to the channel yet, click the subscribe button. Probably click the bell icon because we've got a lot of great content and training videos coming out on this channel over the next number of weeks. So let's dive into the SaaS Configurator with Highlevel. All right, guys, let's talk about the SaaS Configurator. Now, this goes without saying, if you are not on the $497 Agency Pro Plan, you do not have access to this. So this is only for $497 users. If you're not on that plan, there's going to be a link below to upgrade to the $497 plan if you want to, and then you will get access to the SaaS Configurator. Now, let's get into it. The SaaS Configurator is something that makes it really quite easy for you to just sell it and then have people purchase it and then have the sub accounts created automatically. It allows you to set restrictions to sub accounts, from features to rebilling, all of those types of things, where you can kind of just set it and forget it and just sell it. And so this requires that you have your Stripe account connected, because every single plan that you create is actually going to create a new Stripe product in your Stripe account, which you can then use that product ID to resell that product through your agency sub account. And when that product is purchased, it will automatically create the sub accounts for you and create those sub accounts with the correct settings. Now, because I'm a neat freak when it comes to our Stripe account, and we've made a mess of it in the past, I'm not going to create a new one, but I am going to show you guys everything that you need to know about creating a SaaS plan. Okay, so you've got your plans and pricing. You're going to have your 3 by default when you're in here. We've obviously created a couple of extra ones in here ourselves, but this is where you're going to see what plans you have, as well as what features are added on those plans for them. So before we dive into how to do this, let's go through some of these tabs up here. So this is your plans and pricing. These are your advanced settings. So this is where you're going to set up things like subscription settings, suspending an account when the subscription payment fails. Highly recommend this, right? If their payment fails, they can't access the CRM. Allow sub-account admins to upgrade their subscription. So if you're adding different plans and different features within these categories, you can allow your customers to upgrade to a different plan and downgrade to a different plan. So add new plans features upon upgrading. I would highly recommend that if they're upgrading, they're going to get access to the new plans. And then allow sub-account admins to cancel their subscription. This is going to be in the billing section inside the sub-account, where they can upgrade or downgrade depending on what your settings are here. If you want to create and write a custom welcome email for any of your new subscribers, you can do this here. Now, you do need a source sub-account, which would theoretically be your agency operational account. So I'm just going to go and I'm going to pick GHL Mastery because that's where we have most of our stuff. And then you will be able to look at and pick the folder name for SaaS configurations and then build your email in here. So we're going to click customize the email. And now we can come in here and we can build the email out. You can put your logo in here and you can start to build out all of your email welcome automations and things of that nature through this email here. So there you go. We personally don't use the SaaS Configurator for reasons that I'm not going to mention in this video, but that's how you can set this up and create custom welcome emails for your people. Now, you've also got categories. So these are going to be where you can create different plan types for different use cases. An example might be you work with home service contractors and you work with roofers. So you've got a roofing snapshot system and SaaS plan. Maybe you also work with flooring companies. So you want to have a separate snapshot system and SaaS plans for flooring companies. This is where you can create those different categories for your SaaS plans and put your different SaaS configurator plans in these categories, which will then allow you to set the upgrade and downgrade paths for the specific systems that we're talking about here. So that's how you're going to create your categories. You just go add new, you're going to give it a name, and then you're going to give it a currency that you want to build in for those categories. So here you go, guys. That's your advanced settings. Then we've got security. And so this is pausing new sub accounts. Put a new sub account on hold until reviewed or approved by an agency admin. This really depends on how you're trying to sell the system, right? If you're selling the system from an order form, great. Let's sell the system from an order form. You probably don't need to put them on hold at that point, but I'll leave that entirely up to you if you want to be able to verify your accounts. Another one reason that you might want to do this is, like I've mentioned in a previous video, we've seen nightmare stories where people are giving away accounts, and what people will do is they'll get a really, really cheap account, they'll log in, set up the LC phone, and then they'll just spam text blast a bunch of people, which gets that phone number blacklisted and gets your account shut down. So you may want to turn this on, but again, I'm going to leave that up to you. Two-factor authentication for phone numbers. So again, this just prevents people from using fake phone numbers to sign up for your SaaS plans. So they actually have to verify their identity before they can actually get into the system. This is configuring a sub account that uses NMI, authorize.net, and or Square for your SaaS Configurator accounts. Okay, so this is a relatively new feature, but what you need to do is you need to have an actual operational sub account created already so that you can use the payment gateway that you integrate with that. So if you're using NMI, authorize.net, and Square, that's what you're going to do here. You're going to link to the existing sub account that has that connection already, and then your SaaS Configurator configurations will work. So there you go, guys. That's that. Now let's get into setting up your plans. I'm just going to use this one. It's not one that we really sell very often, so we're just going to go in here and we're going to edit. So the first thing you're going to see is your plan details. You're going to give it a name, and then you're going to give it a description. So I highly recommend that you say, here's what is included in this plan. Next up, you're going to go to pricing. So this is where you can set your monthly price and your annual price. By setting these up, you're going to end up creating a unique Stripe price ID for both plans. So whenever you set something up in here, it's going to create that product in Stripe. You can choose if you want to limit how many users they can have on that plan. You can limit how many contacts they have on that plan for a true SaaS. Gives them the ability to upgrade a little bit more effectively because I can only load 500 contacts. So you can have a low tier plan that has one user and low contacts, a little slightly higher tier plan that allows them for more managers and more contacts. So you can adjust that in here for each plan as well. Now features, this one I want you to pay attention to, because one of the unique things about the SaaS Configurator versus any other way of creating a sub account is that if you don't have a feature listed here, that feature literally does not exist in the sub account. So it means that even you, the agency, cannot access it. And so it's really, really important that you understand this, because if you create a snapshot system that has workflows and things that make it operate, you need to include workflows in even your basic plan, because if you don't, the workflow section's doesn't even exist inside the sub account. You can't click on it. They can't click on it. It simply is not there. So you need to be very, very careful with these. And this makes sense if you are doing a true SaaS system where you're giving them a blank slate and they're just going to build what they want on it. When you're creating and building snapshots and sub accounts and custom automations for people, you need to make sure that this stuff is unlocked. Otherwise, they just simply don't have access to it. Okay, so here is the baseline features. So these are obviously the ones that are selected by default. We call these the above the line features. And if you don't understand what I mean by that, if we go into the sub account, here's the line. So all of these are above the line, and those are features that are available to pretty much every single sub account by default. So if you want to add different things to your system, you just simply select them like so, and then you click Save Changes. Again, personally with us, because we do so much custom building, we just turn all of this stuff on and then we manage it using user permissions instead of account permissions. So that's how you kind of set up your features. The other thing that you can do here is you can add a snapshot. So if you've got one of your own snapshots or an imported snapshot, you can include those snapshots in this system right out of the gate. So as soon as the sub account gets created, it's going to get created with that snapshot built into it and whatever features you have selected here. Next up, you've got some add-ons. So these are resell plans. Do you want to allow them to automatically have WhatsApp, automatically have Yext, WordPress, client portal app, and things of that nature? Keep in mind that these things you pay for. So make sure that if you are turning these on, you've included that in your subscription price plan. And if you're not sure what your rebilling settings are, you can just go to this reselling tab right here and it will tell you what these are. Okay, so in this particular case, I'm not going to have them on. Next up is your trial period and credits. Do you want to allow people to have a free trial? By default, they will still need to put in their credit card. And so if you give them a 14-day free trial, for example, they got to put in their credit card, their account's going to get created, and then they've got 14 days before the billing actually kicks in. Do you want to add credits upon signing up? So do you want to have recurring monthly credits every single month? Do you want to have a one-time credit? I highly recommend that you at least do a one-time credit, because what you'll probably find is a lot of people are going to complain because as soon as they get a phone number, they're going to be billed $1.50 for it, or whatever that price is in your country. So usually a one-time credit that kind of gives them the ability to set up their account without any extra cost. It exists. It's real. If you don't want to turn that on, you just turn it off, and then rebilling will kick in and take over for you instead. But you got one-time credits and you've got recurring monthly credits, and then you can choose to allow the unused credits to roll over into the next month as well. So there you go, guys. That is trial period and complimentary credits. And now you're going to go into your rebilling settings. So this, obviously, Highlevel has a ton of different features that charge you, the agency, if they're used. This gives you the ability to recharge and upcharge for all of those things that you're going to be paying for no matter what. So this is one of the probably biggest features of the Highlevel Pro Plan that are actual major difference makers. You can go from paying, and I'll give you a really quick example. We ran a database reactivation campaign to about 8,000 people, and that cost us over $800 in less than 24 hours just to run those Twilio fees there. Now that was on our account, so rebilling doesn't really apply there. But if your customers do that and you don't have rebilling set up, you're on the hook for all $800. So it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense if you're charging, $197 or $297 a month, and then you have an $800 expense from your clients. So I highly recommend that you set these up, regardless of whether you're doing it through the SaaS Configurator or just through the SaaS plans like I showed in the last video. But I do suggest that you set up rebilling. We like 2x, it just works. And so you're gonna set that up for your phone system. You're gonna set that up for your email. You're gonna set it up for the LC Premium Triggers and Actions, which we'll cover in the workflow section of this training. LC email verification. Again, there's a very, very small cost to this. Every single time an email goes through email validation, you're not going to make a lot of money off of this. Even if you cranked it right up there, you're only making 1 cent at 8 times the amount. So every single time an email gets sent from the system, it goes through the email validation system, and it's going to cost you a little bit of money. I highly recommend that you turn that on, though. It's going to save your emailing domains. Content AI, if you're going to have that on, you're going to obviously do the upcharges on that. Workflow AI, you're going to do the upcharges on that. Conversation AI, WhatsApp as well. Reviews AI, domain purchases, if you have that turned on. And then autocomplete address, rebilling for that as well. Funnel AI, rebilling for that as well. You can set up all of your rebilling so that anytime these features are used inside of a sub account, you're getting a markup on top of it so that you yourself are not losing money. I highly recommend that you set these up if you are going to be doing any sort of SaaS plan setup for your agency. And that's it, guys. You save your changes. That is now your SaaS Configurator plan. Now I'm going to go back to the main screen here because I got to show you something really, really important. Your link right here is going to take you to your Stripe dashboard, and it is going to show you the price ID right here. So when you go into a sub account and you want to set this up, first make sure that your sub account is connected, but now you've got access to these price IDs inside your product list, which again, I'm going to cover that in the sub account setup videos later on. But this product ID is now the product ID that's going to be used to sell your SaaS plans. And once that product is used, it doesn't matter if you use it directly from Stripe. So if you go over here, you'll look at, you've got a copy sale link. This is a Stripe link, which means you can send people directly this Stripe payment link and have them subscribe from here. This will create a sub account for you. So the sale does not always have to be through a fancy landing page or an invoice or anything like that. It can literally be used through your Stripe link that gets created from your SaaS Configurator plans right here. So there you go, guys. That is a pretty high level overview of the SaaS Configurator plans. I recommend that you get in there, you get your hands dirty, you play around with it a little bit, create some accounts, and just to see what actually takes place when you limit features, for example. Like I mentioned, they just won't exist. So highly recommend that you go in here and play with it, figure it all out, get familiar with it, and then start to set up and structure your SaaS Configurator plans for yourself. Hey guys, I hope you found that video useful and helpful for you getting your company set up in Highlevel and getting your white label started with the Highlevel ecosystem. Now, if you're just starting out your journey in the Highlevel ecosystem, or maybe you're even an intermediate, or consider yourself an expert that just wants to know a little bit more about the Highlevel platform and how you can leverage it, I would encourage you to go and click the link in the description below this video and hop into our GHL Mastery program. What do we do inside of our GHL Mastery program? Well, we have 5 calls every single day of the week, Monday through Friday, for 2 hours a day, where we actually help you get into your system, help you build, help you troubleshoot, and just overall help elevate your overall skill set on the Highlevel platform. So if you're interested in getting hands-on every single day support, plus a couple of bonus goodies, snapshots, AI systems, the like, then go ahead and click the link below to join our GHL Mastery VIP group. And I promise you, you will learn more in 1 month than you will in 6 months doing this on your own. We will see you in the next one. Take care.